citizens, fellow countrymen, at this second appearing to take the oath of the presidential office, there is less occasion for an extended address than there was at first.
On the occasion corresponding to this 4 years ago, all thoughts were anxiously directed to an impending civil war. All sought to avoid, all avoided it, all sought to avoid it.
While the inaugural address was being delivered from this place, devoted altogether to saving the Union without war, insurgent agents was in the city seeking to destroy it with war.
Seeking to dissolve the Union and divide the effects by negotiation. Both parties deprecated war, but one of them would make war rather than let the nation survive, and the other would accept war rather than let it perish, and the war came.
1/8 of the whole population were colored slaves, not distributed generally over the Union, but localized in the southern part of it.
These slaves constituted a peculiar and powerful interest.
All knew that this interest was somehow the cause of the war.
To strengthen, perpetuate, and extend this interest was the object for which the insurgents would rend the Union by war, while the government claimed no right to do more than to restrict the territorial enlargement of it.
Neither party expected for the war the magnitude or the duration of which it had already attained. Both read the same Bible and pray to the same God, and each invokes his aid against the other.
It may seem strange that any men should dare to ask a just God's assistance in wringing their bread from the sweat of other men's faces.
But let us judge, not that we be judged. The prayer of both cannot be answered.
That of neither has been answered fully, the Almighty has his own purposes.
Fondly do we hope, firmly do we pray, that this mighty scourge of war may speedily pass away. Yet of God will that it continue until all the wealth piled by the bondsmen 250 years of unrequited toil shall be sunk.
And until every drop of blood drawn with the lash shall be paid by another drawn with the sword, as was said 3,000 years ago, so still must be said that the judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether.
With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right. Let us finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow, and for his orphan, to do all which may achieve and cherish a just and a lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations.